so good. I encourage you to take a bong hit before this art tour, but it's not strictly necessary. So I think there's some pretty severe... Oh wait, I better point the camera in the right direction here, eh? Now with this window behind. Some of these things might even be on the internet. These are from the Boy and Bear series I did. It's almost like these are illustrations from a book that I haven't finished, or written for that matter. But these would be like, it's like number 1 of each of the editions. Oh, these are all the same. Oh, what is all this? It's, oh wow, look at these. I could put these up for sale. I sometimes keep like the number 1 aside for myself, or at least like some copies of prints, but as my print stacks get bigger and bigger, I just like, sometimes I'll just put, you know, just sell it all, or, you know, get rid of it all. It's, I mean, eventually it gets damaged sometimes if I keep like putting it in boxes and transporting it. And sometimes it's just, I just want to try to, you know, clear off the old shelves. When the print stacks start taking up too much space, you got to take evasive action. This is from a Cat's Pajama series. The paper's mainly a bit bigger on them. I think there'll be a bunch of those in this box. Drawing. Yeah, that's pretty nice drawing. Some stuff I just don't know why I'm keeping it. I filed it away at some point like that. Maybe I'll throw a print on top of that and sell it, or just whatever. Yeah, this is the original big version of Hay. It's called Hay, Boat and Mountains. I've done like some smaller formats of this since, like a 12 by 16 size. That's pretty nice. This is one of the very first screen prints I made. This one had actually paint onto the screen directly to make the mask. It was like part of the sort of learning process. First they make you do it the hard way, or like the slow, irritating way, before they let you do it the easy way. So in here, looks like we got some Cat to Pajamas prints. So I did a few variations on this print. Maybe like even 7 of them, different color combinations, and even some different screens. Oops, careful. So yeah, I originally made this full paper size, but realizing it was a bit cumbersome, I sort of cropped some down into some different formats. The advantage of having the full size is you can rotate it whichever way you prefer, should you prefer a certain orientation. Gosh, these aren't all up on the website. I would do well to hire somebody to like work on my website for me. I sort of max out at doing one uploading. Even if I did upload one new print per day from my old prints, that would be better than I'm doing now. So many prints. So here, let's put these back in this sleeve. I can't find my other fingerless glove, so I'm going Michael Jackson style here. And this print's called Drifting Thoughts. Go. Oh, come on. This the old cycling drinking cat damaged. I did this for some friends of mine used to organize, maybe they still even will again, a bike trip around Niagara in Ontario. For like 2 nights, and the rest of the days we biking around, going to vineyards and drinking. And so I originally did this cycling cat as our, like the, for the logo for the t-shirt one year. There's a dead cat blob. This one is known around the studio as. And then another Drifting Thoughts on this side here. Maybe we should pop this out. Oh, there's a couple sheets here. So this one's printed on another print on the background. That is this like little boy in a boat on a wave. Maybe see that here. I think I'll put these prints in that. These. Some giant size, no happiness without, oopsie, without trees. I should put these online. This was a test print from Bear in the Mountains. I did a couple of other, well, I editioned a few versions using these screens. Well, we may come across some of those in the stack. And here is another one of these in very nice condition. I should put the, I guess I'll be doing some organizing. Oh, these ones aren't even in a protective sleeve. Well, I'll at least stack them together. Okay, I gotta get those in a protective something before they get damaged. Some animal musicians. Some big multiple color No Happiness Without Trees. This is just a print that I got that was made by somebody else. I think Strawberry Luna is the artist. Oh yeah, there it says it right there, Strawberry Luna. Octopus versus Volcano. Looks like about maybe 12 by 18 inches. On the other side we got Pinball Cat. Piece of. Here's something else from my private. I bought this little like newspaper at this shop called Desert Island in New York. Was it in Brooklyn? Somewhere in New York. Like I was only in New York City once. It was a super cool shop, although the guy running it was so unorganized. I actually worked there for a while, but then it was so hard to get paid, and even to convince the guy that like that I left the works with him in the first place was like pulling teeth. But at any rate, I bought this really cool newspaper there. It's all sort of funny headlines. I like it. Crazy cat head. Oh, yeah, this is tried printing on black. It's hard to get colors to pop on black, but these greens worked out all right. Like a lot of colors don't have enough opacity to stand out on the black. If there's any transparency, it really dulls the colors down. And these mine boat prints. Oh boy, some more of my private collection. This print I got from an artist at a sale in Ottawa. When I saw it, I felt inspired to do like more purely geometric art, which I haven't really done even to this day. This bad boy's getting all damaged. Now this is part of my Seri Pop collection. I might have even bought these damaged, but this might have been my doing as well. But these guys, I mean, they're sort of fast and loose. The guys who run Seri Pop. I first learned screen print on paper with these guys. I went and did a sort of a very casual, unofficial sort of internship with them. Basically, I blasted out their screens and helped them print some stuff, like for a few days over the course of a couple of weeks. And then they helped me print my first print. Yeah, these two crazy punks in Montreal called Chloe and Yannick. I should check out what they're doing these days. This one's also a Seri Pop piece. Oh yeah, looks like they must have got wet on my watch. They got damage in the same spot. At least they didn't get totally ruined. This piece, I don't remember who the artist is, but again, trying to inspire myself to do some geometric stuff. See, this prints layers from a few different prints. I sort of like where it's going. I think this cat needs a layer on top of it, and then this thing will be finished. Alright, this is more private collection stuff. I won't bother opening that. Market Forces. Guy in a chair. Now these prints are on washi paper. They aren't the most suitable prints for delicate washi paper necessarily, but let's see what's here. This one's called Strange Glowing Object, representing some sort of false promise of technology or something like that. Oh, is all the same? Yes. There's some different. This one's a bit. Oh yeah, the ink's darker. I think I might have hit the ink the screen twice on some of them, giving a thicker layer, and so it's coming through a bit differently. Alright, these are all. I should put these up for sale. The Wheel of Diluted Capitalist Experience on washi. And here, before I put them back, I've got some more. What's on this side? It's called Modern Ocean Scene. And this is a print, it's like a dreaming, this is a kiwi bird down here, having this dream about all these like flying birds. Kiwis are of course bound to an earthly existence. But it didn't quite come together, I felt. I never editioned this print properly. There's another color treatment. Right, let's put these back. Oh geez, I gotta keep an eye on the time. This is going slower than I was expecting, but I got a phone call at 8:30. Oh. Oh gosh, how did I... What have I done? Washi paper's cool, but these ink heavy prints I feel aren't the right style for it. You want to have more of the paper showing through. What? Oh yeah, the time is on my phone. I can't even check it. Oh, it's 8:30. All right, we gotta pause things here. I'll be back. Okay. Really got sidetracked yesterday. Now it's the next day. I'm still in my long johns. Hopefully casual is all right. Here's a big whale. Bit of a misprint. Sometimes when the screen like keeps contact with the paper longer than normal, or just in certain ways, it leaves a little, like, call it a kiss, but it's a light area. That's one of them. I'm chewing my nicotine gum here too. I'll get rid of that. All right. Psychedelic eyes. Boy and boat. Weird peach version of the octopus versus volcano. Gosh. I feel I must have like, someone must have given me this. I don't think I bought this print. Ottawa. Okay, here's a bunch of stuff. Is it all these kiwi prints, or is it a mix? I'll start on my lap. I don't know what the temperature's like where you are, but it's starting to get a little warmer this week in Nova Scotia. And I think it's supposed to be, I heard 14 degrees on Friday, 14 Celsius, which is, you know, pretty warm for March. Kiwis. They are all kiwis here, I'm guessing. But they're interesting, these prints. They didn't quite gel the way I was hoping they would, so I never got past the color test stage. So I got all these, like, they're essentially color tests. Like, I like busy layering, but sometimes it goes too far or it doesn't come together quite. That one is maybe the closest black. I guess there's more contrast, so it's a bit less confusing, perhaps. Ooh, I really like that one. That one's pretty confusing, but nice. And a couple of the No Happiness of the Trees on black. I'm then on the other side here, oh, I guess I gotta take it out. Reflection. This is called Chemical Structures. I've got a bunch of other color combinations of this. This is, yeah, and this one, this, like the main Chemical Structures drawing is printed on top of a different print. You know what, I'm just gonna, I'll repackage these later. Here are just some tests, like a, what do you call these sheets? Clearing the screen from the ink sheets. But some interesting stuff going on in this one. Sometimes I keep things aside just because I want to like recreate. And maybe it was even just the color combinations or something spoke to me, and it's basically like a big color swatch. Sally Can't Dance. This is a band. Was maybe still is a band in Newfoundland that I did this drawing for. Ah, speaking of Newfoundland. Oh, what's getting a bit damaged there, eh? A depiction of the Aurora Borealis over Newfoundland. Oh, I gotta cut my fingernails. I should redo a version of this print. I only did a few. It's nice. Market Forces, not just the invisible hand. Three Psychedelic Faces. This is one of my first ever prints. One of my influences is psychedelic music posters from the 60s, 70s. And this was, inspired by that kind of style, I would say. Which is another nice print I've been meaning to do a new version of. I only printed a few back in the day, and they all sold because it's really nice. Yeah, 2007, my first year of printing. Oh, this is 2008. It's like a sort of a tattoo style tomato. Oh, I might offer this to a guy I know who likes tattoos. Newfoundland reggae. These Tibetan tiger prints I really like. 2008, also very early in my printing days. It's not a very popular print, but I love this one. Hopefully I'm not slurping here too much. I find the microphone on this camera is actually better than I expected. Like, hear my lips smacking. Labored breathing. I'm a bit actually stuffed up from, hopefully just from sleep. This is a cool print. Did you know you can fire pottery in a pit in the ground? That's what they were doing at Middle Cove Beach one day. Oh, gack. Excuse me. This is the original Cinco de Mayo poster from a gig. I think I showed there was big versions of this in the first video. That one's really nice. So this, you might remember the psychedelic drops from way back at the bottom of the stack here. So they form the background of this. That's where I could spend a year just printing up psychedelic backgrounds to have as a base to print all kinds of cool stuff on the foreground. That's a page of birds. There's a little sideways version of a drinky cat. I was probably cutting down. So as you've seen, like many of the bashed up corners and like damaged parts of prints, what happens to them eventually, or some of them, is they get cut down. It's like to something between this and even just like postcards. Or if I just get sick of a stack of prints, sometimes I'll just like start to process it to try to clear it out. Clear some space on the shelves, you know? Oh, this is the Aurora Borealis. I think you've already seen one of those. Layered, trippy mountains. All right, well, I gotta reposition myself. I sure hope we're recording. Yes, we are. I got these Long Johns in New Zealand. They're pretty awesome. That was like almost 10 years ago, probably, at least. They're a weird polypropylene that like sort of gets stuck on your cuticles, but I still like them. Creepy cat face. So here's this is like very thin Japanese paper. So thin that it's a bit annoying. This one's gonna get cut down. Ooh, look at that, I still have one of these. A rare one color print. Ever since I did that one, I've been meaning to do like a multicolor version, because you can get pretty trippy with that one. But I can't print this big these days. I printed all these big ones in Toronto at a place called Open Studio. And yeah, I haven't been able to get in there recently. Like, I mean, the whole COVID thing, when I go to Ontario, I'd print there sometimes, but with COVID, it wasn't happening. And then even before then, each time I would try, it's like the doors wouldn't unlock, just weird, annoying stuff. So we're getting into some more interesting Octopus versus Tornado prints here. I wonder if these would shine under black light. And I gotta get me some black light bulbs. I had this really awesome Black Sabbath poster that I somehow forgot it at an apartment I was leaving. Like, I think I rolled it up, put it in a tube, and then the tube was somehow forgotten. And I've been trying to even just find that, like a picture of it online so I could recreate it. It was a simple silk screen. But I've never been able to find that image. So I just want to try to recreate it on my own. Anyway, it was black light, so I want to get some black light colors. But I digress. This is not one of mine. It's part of my personal collection. That was a good use of like different combinations of sort of different types of patterns combined to make a nice trippy image. Here's a print that never went anywhere. It's like a little, like a lemur or something, canoeing. I kind of like it now. Sometimes you just got to give things time. I mean, it needs some work, but I think maybe something can be done with that. There's a nice clean drinking cat one. Oh yeah. Hope you guys have had your bong hits, because woohoo. Another Seri pot print. This one I especially like. This was from a festival in New Zealand, Camp-a-lo-hum. Remember when I heard the festival name, I was just like, what the fuck kind of festival name is that? What does that even mean? It was cool. It was like lots of indie bands and young people. I was an old timer at that festival, and I was only like 35. So this one never got, this is a little space boy. Or Underwater Boy. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose. Alright, I'm probably not gonna find that to edit it out, so my apologies. Honk! Ah, that's better. Yeah, I'm meaning to do like a whole series of Space Boy ones, even on like smaller paper that I can, you know, stuff I can print at my house here. There's one of those kisses. Make sure to see the light line there. But man, it's just like it's on the list. I need a printing crew to help me out. That one's really quite nice with the blues. I think you've seen one of these before, not in silver. And here we have some, I believe this has been also shown. Another one of these canoe ones. Printing yellow on top sure didn't help things out. That is a page from the one little zine I ever made. At least the one screen printed zine. I was going to sell at a zine fair, so I figured I'd better have a zine. It was fun, but a lot of work. That's a pretty nice bear in the rainbow forest. So this drawing has the... That's right, I don't remember. Maybe I sent those guys a few of these. That's why I printed one with this information. I did this drawing for a beer label. Or did they just use... Maybe I had this image and then they used it for a beer label. I think I might have sort of made it for them originally. When I do third-party design work, I usually keep rights to use the design myself to compensate for the, you know, relatively low pay that I usually get for design jobs. Although these guys paid me all right, $1,000 US. I mean, I don't know. It's probably just like average industry standard wise, but pretty good by my books. I mean, these days $1,000 US is quite a few Canadian dollars. So there might be some color combinations of these that were not in the last stack. Like, artist proofs can mean a couple different things on my prints, but often it's just like color tests. So one of the tricky things, this paper is like, this is bamboo paper, and it's thick, it doesn't roll. I might be able to roll this. It doesn't roll into like a regular sort of shipping tube, or rolling it that thin is like, stresses me out. But I've got these boxes that have a bigger diameter, maybe 6 inches, so, you know, it might not be a big deal. I'm going to try after this video. I love some of the subtleties in this background here. Seems quite ocean-like. A nice bashed up corner and a good old smudge. It's like this print, I might just cut it down into a bleed, make it so it's a. Here, let me check something. I really got to get a flat file. Then my prints would be protected. So yeah, I could do a 16 by 20 print as a bleed. Actually, that'll work quite well. So I'll do the same with this one because it's got a smudgy old border. Ooh, this is nice. This display proof is in pretty darn good shape. I put the sticker right on it. Oh man. Okay, yeah, that's why you should not ever put a price sticker. Sometimes when you're at sales, you take shortcuts because there's a lot going on. I was selling those for $50 too. That's a pretty good deal. That was definitely a few years ago. There's a nice. All these editions are almost gone. Ooh, look at that. That's a real nice drinky cat. This was the edition version of this. Man, crusty corners. All right, more. Here, oh jeez, I didn't realize I had all these. Holy crap! Definitely got to get some of those on the line. So these were the back. So I think here's a bunch of backgrounds that I used for some of the underwater scenes and also for the drinky cat. So this is, ooh, look at that. That's interesting. It's from certain angles, it looks almost like it's just a simple background, and then other angles, the squiggly pattern really pops out. Neat. I feel like I should just do a big, giant, like, all-seeing eye in the middle of every one of these. I might, because my table's big enough to print an eye, but it's not big enough to print this whole thing. Wow, that one's nuts. Are your eyes wiggling? Because mine certainly are. Holy crap. Wow, look at those colors too. I really want to do some straight up, non-representational work, like just pure geometry and pattern and stuff. Nice colors. So this one, like maybe it's obviously this blue and light blue are in the background, and then I just put a yellow on top, which created the green and green. Yeah, I like these. I always have a display of these background sheets. So here's what I have to do just to help myself. So it's mostly abstract with, boom, a little character in there. Oh wow. This four-eyed whale is interesting. All right, that's it. That's all. Thanks for joining me for another, this one was pretty long, another trip through the print box. Bam! Have a good one. That's a keeper.